Let me ask you something honestly. What if the reason you haven't won yet is not lack of talent, not lack of luck, but the habit of quitting too early? What if success is not about being special, but about being stubborn? Today, on English Bookshelf, we are diving into a book that doesn't comfort you. It challenges you. This is a story about discipline, pressure, and mental toughness. This is Jeetna Hai To Zid Karo. Before the story begins, let me ask you something honest. How many times have you started something with full energy, only to stop when it became difficult? How many dreams did you drop? Not because you couldn't achieve them, but because you got tired of trying? If that question hurts a little, then this book was written for you. Today on English Bookshelf, we are not talking about comfort. We are not talking about shortcuts. We are talking about stubborn courage. This is Jeetna Hai To Zid Karo by S. Hundiwalan. And the message of this book is simple, but not easy. If you want to win, you must learn how to fight when everything inside you wants to quit. This book does not motivate you with sweet words. It challenges you. It shakes you. It looks directly at your excuses and asks one question again and again. How badly do you really want to win? From the very beginning, the book makes one thing clear. Life does not reward talent alone. It rewards persistence. You can be intelligent. You can be skilled. You can be educated. But if you give up early, none of it matters. According to Jeetna Hai To Zid Karo, success belongs to those who stay standing when everyone else sits down. The author talks about zid, stubborn determination, not blind ego, not arrogance, but the kind of stubbornness that refuses to accept defeat as final. The book explains that most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they surrender too soon. They quit when results don't come fast. They stop when people doubt them. They retreat when life becomes uncomfortable. And slowly, they start calling that retreat reality. This book breaks that illusion. It reminds us that every successful person you admire was once misunderstood, doubted, and underestimated. The difference was simple. They didn't stop. One of the strongest ideas in this book is this: life will test you before it rewards you. Every goal comes with resistance. Every dream demands endurance. If you can't handle the struggle, you are not ready for the success. The author explains that pain is not a sign to quit. It is a sign that growth is happening. Discomfort is not punishment. It is preparation. And this idea alone changes how you see failure. Failure is no longer an enemy. It becomes feedback. The book talks deeply about mindset. Because according to S. Hundiwalan, your biggest opponent is not the world. It is your own weak moments. The moment when self-doubt whispers, "This is not for you." The moment when fear says, "What if you fail?" The moment when laziness convinces you, "You can do it tomorrow." This book teaches you how to answer those moments, not with motivation alone, but with discipline. Because motivation fades, discipline stays. Another powerful theme in the book is responsibility. The author is very clear here. If your life is not where you want it to be, someone is responsible. And that someone is not society, not your family, not your luck. It's you. This truth is uncomfortable, but it is also empowering. Because the moment you accept responsibility, you regain control. The book constantly reminds us that winners don't wait for perfect conditions. They create momentum in imperfect ones. They work when they don't feel like it. They show up when no one is watching. They push forward when results are invisible. And this is where Zid becomes powerful. Zid means continuing even when motivation dies, even when progress is slow, even when success feels far away. The author shares the idea that life respects consistency more than intensity. Anyone can work hard for one day. Few can work hard every day. Anyone can dream big. Few can suffer quietly for those dreams. This book is written for the second kind of person. For those who are tired of starting over. For those who want to finish what they begin. For those who want to win, Not once, but permanently. As you read this book or listen to its message, you start noticing your own patterns, where you quit too early, where you make excuses, where you negotiate with your goals. And slowly, something changes. You stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start asking, "What will it take?" That shift is everything. This book does not promise overnight success. It promises something more valuable: mental toughness, the ability to stand firm when life pushes back, the courage to continue when no one claps, the patience to trust the process. And this is only the beginning. As the message of Jeetna hai, to Zid Karo goes deeper, the book begins to strip away something very dangerous: false hope. Not hope itself, but the illusion that success should be easy. The author makes it painfully clear that most people are not defeated by failure. They are defeated by inconsistency. They work hard when they feel inspired. They stop when inspiration disappears. And inspiration always disappears. This is where the book draws a sharp line between dreamers and winners. Dreamers wait for the right mood. Winners act despite the wrong one. The book explains that discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. When you wake up early even when you don't feel like it. When you practice even when no one is watching. When you continue even when results are invisible. You are telling yourself one powerful thing: my goal matters more than my comfort. This idea repeats again and again through the book. Not in fancy language, but in blunt truth. Life does not ask how talented you are. It asks how long you can endure. Another strong lesson in this book is about failure. Most people treat failure as a verdict, as proof that they are not capable. This book treats failure as training. It says failure is not there to stop you. It is there to prepare you. Every loss sharpens you. Every setback teaches you something. Every rejection builds resistance. But only if you don't quit. The author emphasizes that quitting is the only real failure. Everything else is part of the process. And this is where the book becomes uncomfortable, because it removes excuses. You can't say, "I failed, so it's not meant for me." The book replies, "You failed, so now you know what doesn't work." There is a big difference. One of the most powerful ideas in this part of the book is about self-belief. Not fake confidence, not loud positivity, quiet belief. The kind that keeps working even when nothing proves you right yet. The author explains that self-belief is built through action, not thinking. You don't believe in yourself and then work. You work and belief follows. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. Every time you break one, it weakens. This book forces you to look honestly at how often you betray your own goals, how often you say tomorrow, how often you lower standards, how often you quit silently. And then it challenges you, not to feel guilty, but to change. The book also talks about pain tolerance, not physical pain alone, but emotional pain, the pain of slow progress, the pain of being doubted, the pain of feeling left behind. According to the author, success belongs to those who can sit with this pain without running away. Because pain is temporary, quitting makes it permanent. There is a strong warning repeated throughout the book. If you only work when things feel good, you will never build anything great. Great things are built in boring days, hard days, unseen days, days when nothing exciting happens, except discipline. This part of the book changes how you see motivation videos, quotes, and hype. It teaches you that real winners don't feel motivated all the time. They feel tired. They feel frustrated. They feel doubtful. But they move anyway. And that is Zid. Not emotional excitement. Relentless continuation. The book slowly pushes the listener into a new identity. Not someone who tries, but someone who finishes. Not someone who starts strong, but someone who lasts. And by now, something begins to shift inside the listener. You stop looking for inspiration. You start building habits. You stop asking for easy paths. You start strengthening your spine. Because this book makes one thing unavoidable. If you truly want to win, you must become someone who does not break easily. As Jeetna Hai To Zid Karo moves forward, the tone becomes even tougher. Because now the book is no longer fighting laziness. It is fighting pressure. The kind of pressure that doesn't come from work, but from people. By this point, Jeetna Hai To Zid Karo makes one thing painfully clear. If you decide to chase something meaningful, you will be misunderstood. People will question your choices. They will doubt your timeline. They will remind you of your failures more than your effort. And the book does not comfort you here. It prepares you. The author explains that criticism is not a sign you are doing something wrong. Often, it is proof that you are doing something different. Most people feel threatened by consistency, not because it hurts them, but because it exposes their own compromises. This is why the book insists on emotional strength. You cannot win if you need approval to continue. You cannot stay focused if every opinion shakes you. According to the author, focus is a muscle. And like every muscle, it grows under resistance, distractions, doubts, noise. All of them exist to test how serious you really are. This section of the book talks about slow results, the most dangerous phase of any journey. When you work hard but nothing changes. When days pass and progress feels invisible. When effort starts to feel pointless. This is where most people quit. Not at the beginning, not at failure. They quit at boredom. And the book is ruthless about this truth. It says winning is not about intensity. It is about endurance. Can you keep doing the same hard thing, even when there is no excitement left? Can you trust the process, even when there is no proof yet? Because life doesn't reward effort immediately. It tests patience first. Another powerful idea introduced here is mental isolation. The author explains that at some stage, every serious goal requires walking alone. Not physically alone, but mentally. You must stop explaining yourself. Stop justifying your path. Stop seeking validation. Because every explanation steals energy. Winners conserve energy. They invest it in action, not argument. This part of the book hits hard because it removes another comfort. The comfort of being understood. It teaches that being misunderstood is not a curse. It is a phase. And if you survive that phase without bitterness, without ego, without quitting, you cross into a new level of strength. The book also addresses fear in a very direct way. Fear of wasting time. Fear of choosing wrong. Fear of ending up alone. The author says something sharp here. If you don't choose your fear, life will choose it for you. You can fear effort or fear regret. You can fear discipline or fear mediocrity. Fear never disappears. It only changes shape. And Jed is the ability to choose the fear that leads to growth. By now, the listener realizes something important. This book is not about motivation. It is about identity. It is shaping a person who does not collapse under delay, who does not retreat under criticism, who does not negotiate with commitment. A person who understands that silence, slow progress, and struggle are not signs of failure. They are signs of becoming. And as this part closes, the message becomes sharper than ever. If you want a different life, you must be ready to tolerate what others avoid. Loneliness, routine, discomfort, uncertainty. Because winning is not dramatic. It is quiet. And only those who can stay quiet and consistent make it to the end. As Jeetna Hai To Zid Karo reaches its final phase, something important happens. The struggle doesn't disappear. The difficulty doesn't vanish. But you're no longer the same person who started. This is where stubborn persistence transforms into confidence. Not loud confidence. Not arrogance. Quiet confidence. The kind that doesn't need approval. The kind that doesn't panic under pressure. The kind that comes from knowing you didn't quit when it mattered. By now, Jeetna Hai To Zid Karo makes its strongest point. Results are not magic. They are delayed reactions to consistent effort. People often see success suddenly, but they don't see the years of repetition behind it. The book explains that when you stay consistent long enough, life eventually stops testing you and starts responding. Not because life became kind, but because you became strong. The author talks about momentum. Once you survive the hardest phase, the phase when nothing seems to work, momentum begins to build quietly. Confidence grows not from achievement, but from reliability. From knowing that even on bad days, you will still show up. And this changes how you carry yourself. You stop seeking shortcuts. You stop comparing timelines. You stop rushing outcomes. Because you trust your process. This book also emphasizes something very powerful here. Winning once is not enough. You must become someone who wins repeatedly. And that only happens when discipline becomes identity. When effort is no longer forced, it becomes normal. The author makes it clear that success is fragile for people who rely on motivation, but it is stable for those who rely on habit. This is the point where Zid stops feeling like struggle and starts feeling like character. You are no longer fighting yourself every day. You have trained yourself to move forward automatically. And that is freedom. The book also reminds us that real success changes how people treat you. But it should never change how you treat effort. Because complacency is the enemy that arrives after victory. So the book ends not by telling you to relax, but by telling you to stay sharp, stay humble, stay disciplined, stay stubborn about your standards. Because the world respects people who don't collapse after winning. As this journey closes, the final message becomes very clear. Winning is not about talent. It is not about luck. It is not about perfect timing. Winning is about refusing to quit. When quitting feels reasonable, it is about staying loyal to your goal. When excuses feel logical, it is about choosing discomfort today to avoid regret tomorrow. And if there is one line this book leaves engraved in your mind, it is this: if you want to win, you must become unbreakable, not emotionally loud, not endlessly motivated, but mentally stubborn. This is Jeetna Hai To Zid Karo. Not a book to make you feel good for an hour, but a book to make you stronger for life. Thank you for listening to English Bookshelf.